Hey everybody, I am back just for mainly a table update today. Didn't do a Heresy Hump Day this week because honestly I was ready to do one on Tuesday, but I kind of looked at what I had to talk about and I wasn't really that inspired. I had a couple of topics. Some of them seem like I may have touched on them before in conversations, not in dedicated topics. And I could have did the painting update and the gaming update. Wow, I just noticed this light here is really making me even shinier than usual. This one too. There we go. So, what I decided is that I would just do a little table update today. Just talk about some stuff that I've got going on this week. Or fun stuff that I've kind of got going on this time of the year right now. And I am going to do a sponsored beer just because my wife actually had bought me an advent calendar of beer, of craft beers. Never had one of those before. It is really cool. I guess I did have something to do with the Olympic soccer, I mean not the Olympic, a huge soccer or football tournament that happens. The World Cup, I think, is what they call it for us non-football fans. They have like an international sampler you can get where you get like stuff from all over the world. I had that once before and I really like that because it kind of have some different things that I've never had before. Well, this one, I don't think I've had one that I've actually had before, and I've already dipped into the end of the month because we're going to be gone and I'm not even going to be here during it, and so it was an excuse to start hitting the later dates too. But today, I've got Kamba. It is listed as a Belgian ale. I've not sipped it yet. It's actually kind of weak in percentage compared to some of the other ones. Now, most of the ones I've had have been listed as strong ale, so they've started at 8% and they've been upwards of 10%. It's a little high for me. I think I've mentioned that before. I'm not crazy about strong ales. A lot of them have been stouts. And so it is different, and I've enjoyed most of them. There have been a couple of duds, admittedly. I had actually had one from Estonia. I didn't save the name, but I thought of Tristan Athleth when I had that. I thought, oh, an Estonian beer. Never had one of those before, so that was kind of cool. And it was a good one, actually, too. So this one is from Spain, and so I'm going to try this. This 5.9, great, like as far as the alcohol percentage. I don't like them too strong. 7% is fine. I like 6-7%, but this is perfect. Interesting. It's a German style, and even though it's from Spain, well, it says Belgian ale. Actually, no, this is not a German style. It's Belgian ale, and no, it's actually quite nice. It's funny. The Belgians are really known for their beer making. I think they're sort of like considered to be some of the best brewers in the world, if not the best. I've not always liked the Belgian style, despite that. But this one is quite good. I've also maybe not had a ton of selection of them either, but I'm sure there are great ones. So this is nice. Okay, so besides the miniature gaming stuff, it is Viking season, so I don't know, that's not me doing saga painting of Vikings, but like the show Vikings. I am looking forward to Saga 2nd Edition, gearing up as many of my friends that I'm talking to as possible, getting them excited about playing some more Saga, continuing, and getting the new rules when they come out. And I'm going to be doing a Scots Warband next year around the release. Like that's going to be, I think I've mentioned that before. But besides the point, I'm actually quite excited about doing some Dark Ages right now because Saga, Vikings, the show is on, which bar none is my favorite show on television, even more than Stranger Things, which I love. I really love Stranger Things, really love Game of Thrones. I do like it quite a bit. I watched that one with my wife. But I watch Vikings all alone. I'm the only one that watches it in the house. Don't let the kids watch it, so same thing with Game of Thrones. They don't get to watch that. But they get to watch Stranger Things. Vikings, for whatever reason, is like my favorite show. I really, really like it. I've watched it. I did not start watching it when it first started in the first season. I kind of caught it after the first season with reruns, but since then I've been pretty diehard. And this season, like, really, really seems to be a great one so far. I think they've really picked it up. Without throwing any spoilers out there, a major character was lost and the past season, and basically there are a number of major characters, and one of the things I really love about the show is that it's so good with character development. I really love the characters in the show, but I am really enjoying it. They had a 2-hour initial episode, which I really loved, and it's really got me excited again. I used to look forward to Wednesday nights every week to come home from work, because I always work Wednesday night, and I always would come home and look forward to watching Vikings. And it has been great. I'm really, really happy to be watching it again. There have been some seasons that have not been good as others, but it is like my favorite show. Another show I really like is Lilyhammer, but it's no longer on. It was just on for a couple of seasons on Netflix, completely different. But I love that show. And I like Stranger Things and Game of Thrones. Stranger Things is really a close second to Vikings, but and Game of Thrones to some degree, but for whatever reason, if I had to only pick one, that's how I rate this, I would choose Vikings as the only show. Love that show. Okay. So what I'm going to do is flip the camera around, and I'm going to show what I'm working on right now and how it's progressing, and then I'm going to show the next project that I'm going to be getting started with coming up towards the holidays. I am going away over the holidays. I probably won't have much uploading at the end of the month. I'm going to be gone and through Christmas and back to New Year's. So I'll be gone for about 9 days. I am going to try to do an end-of-the-year show where I talk mostly about how this year has gone, like with my hobbying and my opinion, things that I've done, things that weren't so great, things that were cool, and then what I'm expecting to do in the next year. So I'm going to do that. And I might record that ahead of time and have that come up while I'm away. Yeah, I think I'll probably do that. Alright, be back at the table. So I'm having to pull back a bit just to show this entire building here, but I've gotten a lot done on the house. It's not finished. The roof is only done on one side. I've not done the very tops, the decorative items on the chimneys, and then I've not done the interior. I need to do a second coat of blue for the walls in the interior. They're just a darker sort of tone because it's a very flat finish. There's no detail on the inside for the walls, so it's just a blue. Nothing spectacular, but I do need to actually put a second coat on it so it's not streaky. And I want to put in a wood floor, and I want to patina it like I've done with some of my other buildings. So I am going to do that, but right now I really wanted to get the outside done, and I feel like I've made a lot of progress this week on it. For those of you that watched and took a look last week at what where I was at, I finished the windows. I've done the brick, and I've done dry brushing, and I've done a lot of whitewashing to create that. Sorry, take a look here. That brick look. So I've done that. I am happy how that came out. I thought it came out nice. I've got a little bit of a variation there. I think it looks like brick. I've done all the details like these weather vents. I've finished the details under the roof. There's this white decorative element. I had one side done, but not the other. I was just doing this roof here and finished the one side and the little top piece. And all the white, all the pillars, all the decorative elements, the whole porch, the doors, stoop, front and back. I guess I could spin it around, show the back here. So you can see that I've not done the roof in the back. You can see it's still just plain black. But I've done the doors and the decorative elements and stoop and things like that. The windows was clearly the hardest part of this. I believe it's Colin at Charlie Foxtrot Models. He had said that you should just spray or paint the shingles before you put them on the house, so you get that kind of base coat down, which I completely agree with. For those of you that are doing this kit, definitely do that. However, having said that, I still needed to wash and do some highlights and some things because I wanted to get some detail like on the windows as well. So I had to do that. I definitely took most of my time for the project and individually painting all these. There's just so many windows. But I'm actually quite happy with the model. I really do think it's going to be a nice centerpiece model for my Musk and Tomahawks and Sharp practice, which I definitely am going to be using it a lot for in the future, both of those games. And so, yeah, so I even did a little bit of the porch on the floor here, and it's kind of bright here with this light shining on it, but if you take a look, it's getting whitewashed a bit. I put some detail in there so you can see the boards and stuff. So, yeah, really beautiful model. Really happy with it. And so that is that. And now I'm going to come back and I'll just move this out of the way. I've not done anything on the Mammoth because I've been working on this, but I am going to be doing the Mammoth right after that for Savage Core. So I'll be doing that after it, finishing it off. And now I'm going to spin around. I'm going to cut and spin around to my other little table here and show what I'm working on next. While I paint the Mammoth, I'll be assembling some stuff for my next project. So I know a lot of people don't like to look at unpainted miniatures or even unassembled miniatures for that matter. So I apologize that this is just an unfinished beginning of a project, but I kind of wanted to just show real quick because I'm really quite happy with the guys I have in front of you here. And I have some stuff to the right here, I'll move over it. But this is the main component of my Mordheim Beastman sort of gang troop that I'll be using for Mordheim. Now this one here is the leader. Let me actually get some light on here. This one's the leader, and these are really nice looking models. Now these are not Old Hammer. I mean, these are what I think people would classify as middle Hammer. They're like metal models that have been out for a while, but are still old and out of print. Beautiful, beautiful detail. He has a like huge axe that he's sort of putting out there, and then he has I'm not sure if I could get away with actually having this today, but he's basically got like this woman like that he's captured, and just he's like holding her by the hair, taking her as a prisoner, and so yeah, pretty ruthless. I have a shaman. Now I don't know that when I play initially, sorry about bumping the camera there, I don't know that when I play initially I will be using all of these figures because you just start out with a little bit, and I don't know which ones I'll choose yet. Now he has some horns that come out the side, so I have this sprue here with these horns. He has this really cool like staff as a shaman. Love it. And then he's got this really weird thing. It's like a stick with like all these skulls, almost like a voodoo thing almost. It's really cool. So he's got something in each of his hands like that. Now I have 3 gores that came with it. They each have, there are some sprues that have left arms, and you can choose which weapons you want on them. But I have this guy. He's holding a spear, and the spear has almost got like a sack on it with loot. I've got this guy. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I don't think I'm doing the best here at showing these. I've got this guy. He's holding like a bag in one hand with stuff in it, and he'll have like a weapon in the other hand. And I said gores. These are ungores. I'm sorry. If I said gores, these are ungores. And I've got this guy, which he's holding a head, literally by the hair, like a severed head, in one hand. Really nice. Really cool models. Then I've got my gores. So these guys have transformed a bit. They're full-on beastmen. They're not ungores, like between human and beastmen. This guy's got a head in his hand. So I think I got two guys with heads in their hand. These guys are really brutal looking. I mean, you've got the one guy that's the leader that's got the woman on the ground. You got these guys carrying heads in their hands with one of their hands. They're pillaging and clearly murdering. I've got this guy here is a gore that's got a spear, and he's got heads hanging on the spear. He's really cool. He's got like this cloth mask on. And then I've got another gore. It's the last gore that I have. And he is holding, it looks like a sack in one arm, and he'll have a weapon in the other. So Mordheim, like, you're going around and you're trying to get weird stone and like treasure and like other things, and so like that's the whole idea, is they're going in the city and grabbing loot. I've got sprues, like this is a gore sprue, and this is an ungore sprue with all kinds of different weapons and shields and stuff. I've got two of the gore ones and one of the ungore ones. Now I also sort of move these guys out a bit. One of the things I was really excited about in being able to acquire this is that I also have a Centaur. So he's basically holding a big sponsored Heresy Hump Day beverage. So he's a typical drinking gore. This comes in halves, so it actually goes together pretty tight, if I remember correct, because I actually sized this up, so I don't want to actually probably put it on again until I glue it, because yeah, it does have pins and goes together pretty tightly. But besides that, he's got this kind of weapon here, which is huge, sort of. It almost looks like an edged pickaxe, almost, is what it looks like. It's very cool, though. So I've got that. I've got two hounds. So one of the interesting things is, anytime I've looked at these hounds, I've never seen, so it comes with the sprue here, because you basically put your legs on. I've never seen this head whenever looking at people's completed armies for this. So there's another one that I've got that I'll show. But looking through the viewfinder, I'm not doing very well here. But basically, this head is like almost like a ram's head with like a humanoid face, like on the hound. And so this is sort of like a chaos hound, which is really cool. But then this one seems to be the more common one, which is a bigger head with these huge horns. So I've got two of these. And then lastly, I've got the Minotaur, and this is the Mordheim Minotaur. Very cool. It's a really nice model. Now, he's holding like a big sack of skulls, it looks like. And then it's almost like these guys worship corn, because they've got, like, everybody's carrying heads and skulls. And then I've got a thing with a tail and this gigantic axe. Really tremendous axe that he's got. One of the things that's really neat, I was thinking about this because Minotaurs typically, in my experience, most of the ones that I have already, they more have like the bull cow kind of horns, where this guy is more like a ram. And so it's funny because I don't think I've ever seen that before. He's definitely called Minotaur, but he's got like ram horns, and so like the curved horns. So I guess maybe they just took some liberties with the whole Beastman theme. But yeah, no. But in any case, I really like it, and he's really pretty big compared to the other guys. Like, even if you just take the smallest, like the Ungor here. Well, actually, I don't even have him in the viewfinder here now that I've stood him up. But yeah, that's his size there. So he's a really good size compared to them. Pretty brute that you would have on the... I don't know that I'm going to take him initially. The first time I use these guys around. Like, I've been reading a little bit of list building. I still have to read the rules again for Mordheim, but I've never actually played. But I have checked out some of the actual like kind of meta, just list building, just to get an idea. Like when I was looking for what models I needed initially before I had this. This is a fairly complete set. I think there are 2 Bestigors that you could buy individually, and I've not seen them on eBay or anywhere. Like, I don't know. They're kind of hard to get. But outside of the Bestigor models, I have Bestigors, like, not from this generation, but earlier, that I could use. But if I wanted the ones that were actually from Mordheim, I'd have to really hunt for those. But I've got a fairly complete set outside of that. I've got one actual complete starter box, which is what I showed in the beginning, and then the Hounds, the Centaur, and the Minotaur. They are, like, I would consider those additions to like the basic set that you get with them. But yeah, I'm going to start putting this together as I'm working on the Mammoth. But I'm going to finish that house first, and I'm actually pretty close. And so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. Besides that, I hope you guys had a good week. It is Thursday night. I'm off this weekend. I'm going to finish this beer while I edit this video and upload it, and then enjoy the weekend as it comes up. Okay, take care everybody.